Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today is a very special day, okay? By the title of this video, I'm sure you already know what we're gonna be talking about, okay? I paid off my car in less than a year and I am debt free once more, okay? I am super excited to kind of share my journey with you all. If you've been following me for a while, last year I actually posted about me paying off my student loan debt. I graduated from college back in 2016, and when I graduated I had about 40K worth of debt, and in the video I shared how I was able to pay off 40K worth of debt less than 5 years and the tips that I did to be debt free. Well, if you didn't see that video, I'm gonna link it in the card or link it in the description or both so that you can check it out, and hopefully you'll find it helpful. But shortly after I paid off my debt last year during the pandemic, okay, about a month later I ended up buying my first car. Now when I bought the car, I really was against having a car note. I really was trying to purchase and pay in all cash, but my dad kind of recommended that, hey, you spend a little bit more money, get you a car that's solid, that will last you for the next couple years. And I was like, okay, fine. So I did end up purchasing a car. I did get a car loan, so I do want to just kind of share my journey because I was so adamant about paying that car off in less than a year. So I reached my goal, okay? Before we hop into this video, I'm about to go celebrate. I'm gonna spend time with my baby Skylar. That's the name of my car, okay? And I'm gonna go get her clean, go get an oil change. We're about to go ride out on the town, just spend some time together. And then I'm gonna hop back here to share with you all my journey. So let's get into it. Hey y'all, so I am on my way to get the car washed. So I have a guilty pleasure. I love being in the car as it's riding through the car wash. Am I the only one? I know I can't be the only one. I mean, I don't know what it is. I just feel like I'm a little kid again on like a roller coaster and just like going through the ride, the bubbles, the suds. I don't know what it is, y'all, but that's like my guilty pleasure. Now, it's not fun when I'm in the car wash and it gets stuck, okay? It reminds me, if any of y'all live in the DMV area, it reminds me of the Six Flags, okay? So if you live in the DMV, you know what I'm talking about. You be in the middle of a ride upside down and then it just stops. Sometimes it happens during the car wash I go to, but they do a decent job, so I love it anyway. But anyway, let's get this car washed. Y'all, I'm so excited. My baby is getting washed. So y'all, I'm literally at the end of the car wash and it's not working. I can't go anywhere. I'm stuck here. Craziness. Look at my baby Skylar. She's doing so good. Look at her. Yeah, I've been so pressed to go to the car wash. Look at my baby. I got the Blockbuster wash, so that's the highest wash. So it comes with a new car fragrance smell, shampoo, wax, vacuum, all that. I spoil my children. Okay, girl. Look how beautiful she is. Okay, so now that my baby's washed, let's go ahead and get into these tips and how I was able to pay off my car in less than a year. Okay, so tip number one is buy what you can afford. I know it sounds very basic, okay? And it is a very simple concept, but you'll be surprised how many people just kind of disregard that. You know what I mean? Like, I think the key to being debt free is to purchase things that are within your budget that you can afford. I knew that before I bought my car, before I even started looking at cars, I wanted to be able to pay it off in less than a year. I knew that up front. And so that kind of dictated my price range and what I was able to spend money on, and what I was able to pay for. And not only that, I also kind of prepared for it because I was able to put a sizable chunk of cash down, to also kind of help lower the loan amount that I would be required for and what I would need. So I think that is, you know, if you can start the car buying process with a specific goal in mind, it makes life a lot easier. Okay, so that's tip number one. Tip number two is, before committing to a specific loan, make sure that you do your research and you thoroughly shop around to see who can provide you with the lowest interest rate. Okay, I think a lot of people sometimes feels like, you know, they don't really have that many options, and that's simply not true. There are a lot of car lenders out there. You know, just really make sure that you're doing your due diligence. Interest rates are a huge part in, you know, the time that it will take you to pay your loan back, because you're essentially paying more money on top of the original amount that you have taken out. So just do your due diligence to shop around to get the lowest interest rate possible. Quick plug, not that anyone's paying me, but I use Navy Federal Credit Union for everything. Every single thing. Okay, they have taken good care of me over the past several years since I got my first debit card. Okay, their interest rates for everything are typically on the lower end, lower than most. So if you're shopping around or you need some recommendations, check out Navy Federal. That may work for you. Tip number three in the journey to pay off debt and pay it off very quickly, specific to the car loan, is at the time that you accept the loan, the lender typically gives a suggested estimated monthly payment. Okay, I recommend that you just accept that monthly payment. Don't necessarily higher it or lower it. I mean, you can add more if you choose, if you feel comfortable to pay more than that specific amount monthly. You know, if you know that you can do it, definitely you can make it a little bit more, but I definitely would recommend against lowering it. When you lower the monthly payment, inevitably it's just going to take you a lot longer to pay the loan. And so to put things into perspective, I believe my monthly payment was about $239. So my car probably cost in total probably about $18,000, and that includes all the fees and everything. I think the actual price of the car was around $16,000. I did end up paying $5,000 in cash, and so my loan amount was actually $13,000, and so therefore my monthly payment was about $239. Okay, so that's just numbers for reference. The reason why you want to kind of accept that amount is because you want to make sure that you're able to feed the bank something on a monthly basis, okay? But we are about to get into some strategies, because the goal is, yes, while you might be feeding that monthly payment, the goal is to actually, you want to put additional payment, you want to make an additional payment on top of that amount. So that's why if the monthly payment is doable and you feel like it's something within your budget, where if it's automatic, you know, it's something that you can definitely keep up with, I would just keep it at whatever the suggested amount is. And then we're going to talk about how we can save and all of that stuff to pay on top of that original automatic amount. Okay, so tip number 4, this is really the meat and potatoes of how I was able to pay off my loan. Is really the strategy and just overall having a plan to save money or set aside money to put towards your loan. Okay, so one thing that I just, in terms of taking it back into my thought process and how I knew how much I was able to afford, I'm going to keep referring back to my last video to my student loan, and I'll actually just do a separate video on how I save money in general. I did this challenge. I believe it was like a 5-month challenge where I could save $10,000 in 5 months. I did that at the beginning of last year and it worked. I did it. So to me, when I was in the market to purchase my car, I knew from experience that, yeah, I had no problem saving $10,000 in 5 months. So if I, double that and did it twice, that's $20,000 that I can save. And so to me, $20,000 is my max that I would be looking for in terms of a car. You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I knew how much I was able to afford. Okay. So with that same process, you have purchased the car. Okay. You know your monthly payment amount. So this is where I'm going to start to add some numbers. Okay, let's get into these numbers. I'm going to keep it very simple. Let's say that you have $8K left to pay on your loans and you want to pay it off within 6 months. And your monthly payment, your automatic payments that you're making is $239, for example. What we want to do is first figure out how much money the $239 is going to net you at the end of 6 months. So what I simply did was multiply $239 times 6, and that equals $1,434. Okay. Then what I want to do is subtract the $1,434 from the $8,000 to see how much money I have left to pay. So this is additional money, how much additional money I need to come up with to pay on top of the automatic monthly payments. Okay. So when I subtract $1,434 from $8,000, which is the amount that you have left, I end up with $6,566 additional that I need to create a plan to save. Okay. Once we have that number, I then want to simply break that down even more, just to make it make sense to me a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is take the $6,566, divide that by 6, which would represent the 6 months that you have left to reach your goal, and that would equal $1,000, $1,094 left. So what that means is, in order to make sure that you're reaching your goal, you would need to pay an additional $1,094 a month to hit that target. Now I'm going to divide that number by 2 so that I understand bi-weekly, which is, for the most of us, we get paid bi-weekly, how much from our paycheck we would contribute to our goal. So $1,094 divided by 2 equals $547. So with this plan, what this means is that you need to make sure that you're paying a minimum of $547 from your paycheck on a bi-weekly basis in order to hit your goal. This is on top of the $239 automatic payments that you are already doing. So you want to make sure that you pay that $547 bi-weekly from your paycheck. As soon as you get paid, y'all, the first thing you should do is just set aside this money for your loan so that you can make sure that you reach your goal in 6 months. And that's it. Once you know that this is your minimum amount, you can easily add additional funds if you get extra money, if there's bonuses, if there's stimulus checks, if there's, whatever else, you can, definitely add that money on top of this amount. But I think by breaking it down this way, it makes it a little bit more attainable. So that's it. These methods have definitely helped me not only pay off my car, but also pay off my student loans. And honestly, any debt that I come into in the future, I'm going to use the same thing. So it's worth to give it a try if you have not tried it before. If you do try it, let me know how it goes. Okay, I want all of us to be debt free. After you purchase a car you can afford, you shop around for the best interest rates before you accept the loan. Okay, then once you accept the loan, you kind of accept just like the estimated or the suggested loan payment amounts. You devise the plan. The last step of this is to just be consistent. I think sometimes saving money can almost be like a diet. if you think about it, it kind of is like a diet, right? When people go on diets, they tend to deprive themselves on the joys of life that they would have otherwise indulged in for the sake of losing weight. Okay, when it comes to saving money, you're depriving yourselves still of the joys of life in some instances. It might cause you to choose between doing the right thing or doing the responsible thing and putting money towards your car note, or versus like going on a trip or going out to eat with your girl. So sometimes it can be very difficult, but I promise you, if you are just consistent, okay, this is the minimum monthly payment that I have, and if I somehow, some way shorted myself of the plan, then I gotta somehow make it up. I gotta figure out how to move some things around to make it up. I think if you are just consistent in your plan, you could reach your goals with no problem. Okay, so that's really all that I have for y'all. I hope these tips were helpful. It's not rocket science. I'm not doing anything out of the ordinary. I really don't like debt, y'all. I really don't like debt. And I'm just so happy that I'm in a place where my money is my money. Once again, I don't owe anybody anything. I keep my credit card debt very low. Like, I'm really just focused on, being truly wealthy. There was a meme on Instagram that said, prioritize actually being wealthy versus looking wealthy. And I felt that in my spirit. I think that when I graduated college, I knew I was sacrificing, because when I graduated, everybody around me was going on these trips to Dubai and all these things, and in my mind, I'm like, I don't know how they could afford that. Maybe all of them got full rides to school and I was the only one who didn't. I don't know, but like, sometimes it kind of felt like I was being left out just a little bit because I was deciding not to partake in all of those things and choosing to just grind and focus on my business. But I promise you all, especially for the young people who are watching, sometimes if you just take the time, keep your head down, and what might seem like you're sacrificing. I'm only 27 years old. I'm 27 with no debt, and I'm still young. Like, life is just starting for me, you know what I mean? So it's like that moment of, or that fear of FOMO, the fear of missing out. Like, sometimes it's okay to kind of sacrifice that, because the long-term benefits of that sacrifice is just going to be so much greater, y'all. I'm telling you, my channel is about to pop off because I'm really going to start recording all the things I'm about to do. And when I start, so I'm just super excited. I'm excited about where I am in my life right now. Like, I have been on this journey of growth. And my financial situation is a part of that growth. It's a part of me becoming the woman that I'm supposed to be. So I'm glad that I can kind of share this with you guys. But yeah, that's it. I'm about to go ahead and cut this video here because I'm about to go back out and figure out, I don't know, I'm just gonna be driving. I don't really drive like that, but I'm just about to find something to do, just to be in my car, just to drive around, spend some time with Skylar, you know what I mean? So thank you all again for watching. Definitely appreciate it. New video coming out next week. I'm trying my best to stay consistent. Needed just a little bit of break, but I will be consistent. And yeah, I will see you all in the next video.